Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3, where we get to hear the droning of bee wasps constantly, hoping beyond hope that they finish someday a queen. Somebody said there was something on the ground. Don't know where. There it is, found it. Beep. A free arcade nest. Just got pooped out on the floor there. Alright, still no queen, right? Nope, no queen. Alright, 23 products finished. It will hopefully be done eventually. I think I've discovered a problem. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. That was really funny. No wonder the bots were busy. An infinite loop of request. That is like one of those little boxes where like a little robot arm comes out and flips a switch to turn itself off whenever you flip the switch. And then people put two of those next to each other and they just keep flipping each other off. That's funny. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. We are 140 hours in. We are getting ever closer to our 200-hour special. Feels like we just did the 100-hour special. I'm gonna repair these because I'm tired of this blinking. Let's get that done. And yeah, I'm trying to remember, it's been the weekend since I played. I think I was working on, like, the bot mall stuff, right? We got all this set up for the bot mall. Yep, we got a bunch of metals put on. We still need a bunch more random things like plastic and quartz and yada yada yada. I could just mine stone up here as well for the bot mall. Oh, or right here. It's just problematic because we're gonna have so much Keratin, and I really think we should do stone mining in the same place we do Keratin mining. So I don't know. That's not what I meant to say. Not Keratin mining, Keratin processing. Because I feel like I don't want to put Keratin on trains that's just going to go get immediately processed into like shale oil and stuff. So, okay, so we're going to need these to be a lot chunkier because we're going to be requesting a lot of things. So I think we want them both to be quadruples. And most of what we load into these is going to be, whatchamacallit? Most of what we put in is going to be loaded directly, excuse me, man, I need more coffee, directly into provider chests rather than belts. And this is going to be a bot-focused network of stuff. So that one will be on, you know, the construction network, but then all the stuff over here, we're gonna have like a couple more, and these are all gonna be on channel 1. Boop. And so that's good, and then we'll put more on channel 2 out here. Okay, so let's kind of think about the basic. Can you put them on channel 1 before they're built? The answer is yes, it seems like we can. It seems like Blueprint Shotgun does not function, by the way, with that. And it seems like when they get auto-placed, they do get placed back on the wrong channel. So, there you go. Anyway, yeah, okay, so what are we actually doing here? So the goal is to have, I don't even know, man. This is gonna be a heck of a project, and I probably haven't had enough coffee for this, so we might get distracted and go do something else. What we need is a system that knows what it wants. It sends those requests to combinators, and then those combinators tell a requester chest what it should request. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. And there might be a few things that I don't have on the request list, but instead I just have automated normally, like small parts, or I don't know, you know, the pipes, like those kinds of things. I'm feeling like we've already done fairly well, and I don't want to reinvent the wheel. But if they're ingredients and other things, I probably do need to let it go the normal way. Like steam engines go in a lot of stuff. I don't know, I feel like there should be a few things I probably produce on belts. But if the system works, it'll be wonderful. So here's my thought. Let's start with a constant combinator, and we'll have this giving the list of things we want to make, which is going to be 50 steam engines. It's going to be 20 electric mining drills. So then what we need is oh gosh, I'm freaking out already. Because if we just set the recipe of these to this signal, they're all gonna always pick the same thing. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So we could do a random input. The problem with that is, well, I mean, I guess it's not that big of a problem, but it just... Okay, so we can select random one from the list, and then we need some sort of set reset system. So it'll select something from the list, and then it'll pass that to something that will hold it in like a memory cell. So we'll say anything greater than 0, output anything. And green is 1. And we'll have some other reset thing that tells it it's ready to go. How do we do this? If green, what do we want this to do? I just want it to lock into one signal, is what we want it to do. We want it to just pick a single... Oh. It did. Wait a second, that's weird. Oh, because it's feeding itself back that same signal. Okay, that's actually what we want. Why is it continuing to pass the steam engine and it's not switching? Is it because the steam engine's a bigger? I'm wondering if we put this down to 2. Yeah. Wait. That still isn't switching? Okay, now I'm not understanding. Anything's greater than 0, output anything. Output's the first input signal or the first signal that passed all conditions, but it says respecting signal order. The steam engine's coming first, or sorry, the mining drill's coming first. So why is it not outputting the mining drill when that's an input signal? There, it outputs the mining drill. Wait, no it doesn't. First signal that passed all conditions. So does it stay like locked into that signal? And it doesn't switch what the anything is, even if a new one becomes more true? Interesting. Because what we want to do here is build a memory cell that remembers... It picks a random one, and then it grabs onto that one and locks into it, and then that's the thing that it's now crafting. And it's crafting that thing until, you know, it's done, and then when it's done, it will stop crafting that thing and accept a new thing. That's the system. That's what we want to do. So that's what we're designing, and it's kind of complicated. Let's go grab some arcads while my brain cools down. Got overheated there a little bit. It's gonna happen a bunch of times. And yes, I do understand this is a situation where me Googling things could help. Oh, you know what? I forgot I broke that geothermal. And I feel like we're kind of low on power, actually, so I might need to plug that back in. Or wait, we're not low on power. Right. My coal power had stopped working. That's why it had looked like we were low on power. But we're not. Alright, anyway, let's craft a few more of these, because we're going to need them. I've got inserters, I've got some chests. Okay, let me grab some Logibots, because we'll need those eventually. And some more Roboports. Grab an arcade, and you know what? I should probably make some more arcades. Do another set of production here. Arcade codex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So close. Okay, I need more of the other stuff. Glass and circuits, probably. Ten. Excuse me. Alright, there's enough stuff for 10 more. Well, I say that. We also need the cDNA. We need the cDNA, and then I'm gonna question, are we gonna have enough biosamples? Because most of those have been going to cDNA and green science. Yeah, we have biosamples. Okay, I have more than enough of all that. Okay, and then automation science, I need some more. Don't know exactly how much, but that should do for now. Okay. We need more. I think nothing, actually. I think we're good. So we just gotta wait for all that to crafting. Okay, so thinking more about our system, it's like we want a cell that when it's past a value, it then locks on to that value. But then we need to be able to cancel both of those out at some point once we want to. Interesting. Interesting. I have some ideas. Don't know if they're gonna work right. Okay, there's 6 in there, so there's 6 in there. So then I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 more in there. Sorry, I've got a weird sort of cough. I'm trying to mute it when I can, but yeah. Okay, so we're gonna pass a signal so we can keep it looping with its own green signal. I don't want to do each. Well, I could do each. But then it'll be outputting multiple recipes, and we only want it to output 1. But that's what the random was for. But it's like once we pass, it's almost like I need another combinator that only passes a signal into this one. We need like an arithmetic that's like multiplying, you know, the red signal times the green signal here. And when I say red and green, I mean the wires. Like we have the random output multiplied. The random output from red multiplied by the green signal from this one. And then the red one comes in on the red wire. I cannot... Oh, what is that? What is that? Automatic circuit wires? I was trying to click this button. Anyway, so like that way it can, I think, only pass the signal through when there is a green signal. And so this will say, oh my god! Ah! Panic! Panic! Panic at the disco! Oh my gosh. We got the luckies. Okay, that's brilliant. We got an Arcade Queen before we got a Vrockmark 2. Custom alert is going off. Oh, this is an exciting day. We get to brainolate about our bot mall. We get an arcade queen. Okay, well, I guess there's our get distracted and do something else for a while situation. However, I wanted to grab... What was it? Oh, yeah, I wanted to grab selector combinators. Because I think we're gonna need some of those. And then I'll grab a few constants as well. A few more deciders. Okay, I don't really know what all we're gonna need, but definitely we'll need some more combinators. Okay, so the arcade queen is alive, and we got it in only 33. Wow, 33, that is extremely lucky. The chance you get it in 33 is probably only about 20% or something. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. This is not... Or, no, this is Arcade Queens. Okay. Just gotta run past all this jazz. Okay, we did it. Alright, 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 alright. So now this moves over here. And now that goes there. Now I need to set up the Red Hot Coke nonsense. Which is in a basic oxygen furnace. Which... part of me wants to burn fiber almost, just so it's clean and I don't have ash to deal with. Because we're gonna have a lot of ash. But... okay, Red Hot Coke does just decay into Coke, though, which is kind of useful. Don't want to filter the fuel, I don't think, though. Oh, our flora decayed. Gross. I just want to get the loop going. I will make a better arcade world later, but that's not gonna be right now. Not right now. For right now, I just need to get fluorospilinin out of here. Botanical nursery. Boiler. That goes in here. That goes in a chest. That goes into that side of a belt. Input priority left. Something like this. Okay, so that should at least get rid of the fluorospilinin. Oh, and we get biomass. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. I forgot about the biomass. Shoot. Okay, so we now need a boiler. This just gets really complex, doesn't it? Part of me wants to just say screw it all. We won't recycle. That's so wasteful. Where'd my boiler go? There it is. Okay, we will at least, I guess, recycle biomass. And I know it's weird to not reuse that steam because we totally could, but it's such a small amount of steam compared to what we'll need. I think, yeah, one biomass is only going to run this for like 1/10 of a second, which is going to consume 0.75 steam. So that's not even, that's like 2% of the steam we need. So I don't really think that's worth it. Easier to not deal with all the fluid nonsense. Okay, so that'll do that. Now, yes, this is going to create, sometimes this is just going to end up spoiling in here into fluorospilin too, but then it'll just recycle. So the loop is never going to back up problematically. Now, we need to stop running the queen recipe, because, at least for now, I don't need it. Because we have one. And we need that queen to start laying eggs. And hopefully it lays enough eggs, and we're okay. I'm gonna switch the nat gas barreling over. Or maybe I'll just, yeah. I'll just, I don't know. At this point, should I just use the bots for everything? Probably. That goes on channel 1. Get that filled up. And then empty barrels should be requested here. And then fed to both buildings. Uh-oh. Solution figured out. Boom. Okay. So now we've got empty barrels being requested. Going in there. Now, I don't know what else is going on, but we'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so then we're gonna need to make red hot Coke. I'm literally just spaghettiing this as hard as I possibly can, so don't worry. If you're worried about it, I am too. But we're gonna get there. Spaghetti harder, and all your dreams will come true. That's what my papa told me. All right. So Coke gets fed in. We get red hot Coke out. We get Coke oven gas. Look. For just a hot second here, I'm gonna get rid of that red hot, or the Coke oven gas. Cause what did we decide? We decided we're, oh no, I don't remember. Are we gonna ship around the hot Coke? No, we're gonna ship around the cold Coke oven gas. So I decided we were actually gonna make a little hot air loop with this Coke oven gas. Cause we actually need the hot air for all our wax loop stuff. That's right. Okay, so this only runs if the red hot Coke is less than 50. And then we output the red hot Coke. Uh-oh, can you be wired up to a different forces? Apparently you can. Okay. I was worried about that, but it works. You can wire up to a different forces thing. And it reads the number. Okay, so we'll get to 50 red hot Coke. And then here's the tricky part. You can't set... We can't start using coke for fuel. I don't actually know how to do this. Consumes 5 megawatts over 3 seconds. So that's 5 times 3. That's 15 megawatts of fuel, of solid fuel. Or sorry, 15 megajoules, I mean. And if it needs 15 megajoules, that's 3 coke. So even if I let the red hot coke spoil, I'm still getting too much. So we're gonna have to delete coke or trash it from this build, basically. That's fine. Honestly, I'll just utilize it up to 50. When it spoils, we'll just trash it with a trasher. Maybe I'll use a super trasher. I don't know how many byproducts we're gonna get from this build. Okay, so there's Ralasia, there's Red Hot Coke, Arcad, Honey, and Nat Gas Barrel. We'll request 15 of each. Probably need more like 30 Nat Gas Barrels. Okay. So that's that. So now we just need the arcads. And the arcads... This is the recipe we now need to be doing. This is kind of like the queen recipe, I guess. And this needs the nests, the Ralasia flower, the sap. Wait, this doesn't need either of those. Why is this hooked up here? This one should be this one. Because this already has sap. And then the Ralasia and the Red Hot Coke are right here. Oh god, this is just Panic at the Nightmare. What are we doing? This is nonsense. And then we need a provider chest to get coke off the end of that. No, I want coke to be the filter. Okay. Okay. So we're dealing with spoilage there. We're not dealing with it in here yet. We'll get to that. Anyway, then this requests natural gas barrel and biomass? Question mark. We haven't requested it yet. Biomass. Wrong signal. You know what? That's actually really useful. If you request the wrong signal, it doesn't show up on the stack count. So that's good to know. Okay. Don't worry. We will rebuild all this. So now we need Arcad rebuild. We'll check that off the list, but then we'll add to the list Arcad actual build. Okay, so we need biomass in here. Do I have any? I don't see any. Biomass. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, and then that will go down and onto the side of the Ulrich belt, just because we can share that. And now we've got biomass here. So we've got biomass, we've got Ralasia. Wait, we don't have Ralasia? No. No, we don't have relation. Cannot seem to get this right. Alright. This is just pure spaghetti. Okay, and then we need the requester chest with nat gas, biomass, and arcade nests. Natural gas barrel. Wait, we don't need biomass. That's gonna get here in a second. Arcade nests. 5. Okay, and then I think I need more barrels. I thought I had like hundreds. Where did they all go? Where are all my barrels? Maybe I dumped them somewhere else? Seems like we're kind of out of barrels over here. Alright, we need a barrel resupply. Because, yeah, I want to keep working on this bot mall idea. So the idea is that it's going to take one down and pass it around, right? So, like, each assembler is going to figure out which thing it's building from the list by picking one at random from the list of things that need to be made. And then it's going to basically start building that, and it'll lock into building that. You know, like it'll clamp down on that number. It'll only, or that signal. It'll only be working on building one of that thing, and then once it's built one of that thing, then it will stop and allow a new signal to come in and be made. That's the idea, anyway. Is it gonna work? I don't know, but it's my idea, and it's what we're trying. And as far as, like, you know, what ideas you have, feel free to talk about them in the comments, but this is the type of thing where, like, what's the right way to phrase it? Because I don't mind if people talk about it, but I think sometimes with those sorts of systems, people are like, oh, you should do this, or oh, you should do that. Like, it's a place where people get a little backseat happy, and in some places, I don't actually mind it, but in this sort of place, I actually really want to do it myself. Even if my solution is going to be quote-unquote bad in some way. Even if it's, and bad is the wrong word, but even if it's going to be worse than maybe what you're thinking of. Or maybe I end up setting up an inserter system, or combinator system that, like, could be done with 3 less combinators. Like, I don't want you just immediately jumping in the comments being like, oh, you can save 2 combinators when you do it. It's like, okay, maybe once I've built the whole system, we can talk about it. But as I'm designing it, I kind of want to, you know, this is how you learn. You don't learn by people just telling you in the comments, oh, here's what you should do. Unless it's a really simple concept and you just didn't have the information, then I guess that can help with learning. But you learn by messing around with stuff, and that's what I want to do. So let me mess around with stuff. Feel free to backseat eventually. Wait, the building is, oh, that's confusing. This is one of those weird buildings that doesn't have the overhang that it looks like it does. Oh, I guess that's not really an overhang though, because this is next to the floor. Oh. Weird. I'm so used to buildings having an overhang. Anyway, this is our first arcade system. And our arcades will get fed into a box here. But it'll be a provider chest, because we're also going to get empty barrels. I guess we should blacklist Coke. So that'll get us the arcades, which then get fed into here. Why is this not running? Oh, we need a module. There we go. Yay! The queen is making the first eggs. And then this one will also produce empty barrels. And hopefully the arcad queen back. But then a bunch of eggs too. So at least for right now, I'm wanting to like accumulate, I guess, a bunch of eggs. So then where do the eggs go? The eggs go back up here. To be turned into maggots. Alright. So we request a bunch of eggs. And we're gonna need to keep topping up the used comb situation, which is a whole thing. We'll request all those. Wait, what? Oh, I already did that. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, let's make it visible, why don't we? I was confused. It didn't make any sense to me. It's like, weren't we already doing the used comb recycling? Yes, we were. Okay, so once in a while, I'll need to bring in empty combs, but I think this system is working now, and it just needs Vraux, which apparently I decided wouldn't go on the other side of this belt, even though they totally should, and instead I put biomass on it. Stupid Cardex. Tricks are for kids. Alright, so instead we're going to filter to the right Vraux. Look, don't judge me. You've all done worse crimes than this build, I bet. And if you haven't, then good for you. You're an angel. If you haven't, then good for you. So Vraux themselves. Wait, how is this getting Vraux? It's not. It needs to request them. Okay. Somehow my brain is starting to understand all this. Like, not because it makes sense, but just because I've been looking at so many of these recipes for so much of the last 3 episodes that I think my brain is just, it's learning to speak the arcad language. But don't worry, it doesn't mean I understand it. Now, why is this decaging Vraux? I think that was just, yeah, never mind, I don't need that. I do need this to be limited, though, on how many caged Vraux it wants. So that way it doesn't just run constantly. Okay, so now we should be able to unload Vraux onto the other side of that, and we're good to go. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is crazy. But I think we did it? Question mark? I think we've got an arcad positive loop now. Very possible I screwed up somewhere. But I think it's working. And that one's making honey. This one needs to get rid of coke. That spoils. And it will spoil. It's only a 2-hour timer. Okay, and that one's already dealing with it, and I can request Coke somewhere and do something with it. Alright, this is all functioning. Weirdly enough. The maggots are being requested. The nests are being turned into arcats. The nests are being made from the maggots, which are being made with the honeycomb and the vrauks and the pudding pops. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good. I think I can leave this alone. It's a total nonsense mess, and I think it needs a few more Logibots now that I've kind of turned everything into using them. So I'll grab a few more. Oh no, those went into the wrong... No! Aha, I capture you. I keep forgetting, when you want them to be on channel 1, you have to put them in channel 1 to start. Okay. I think I can just leave this alone. Wait, what's the flora actually used for? Wait, why do I have flora? Hey guys. Why do I have flora in my arcad chain? What am I doing? What is wrong with me? There's not a single recipe in this loop that uses flora. Oh, there is. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, my heart. I was freaking out. Okay. I feel better now. I needed it for the initial used comb situation to create arcad honeycombs. And do I hold on, I'm getting mixed up here. Do I still need it for that? So the empty honeycombs are a closed loop. We never consume them. They loop. They're like barrels at this point. No, they're not. Sorry, they're not a oh God, this is... Oh. This part also uses them, and this one turns them back into used combs, which means I do need to keep making new ones from the used combs. So actually, I am gonna run out here. This is a problem. Because this needs to make both types. It needs to make empty combs, and it needs to make empty honeycombs. But the question is, do I need... Because the arcad nest recipe is turning empty combs into nests, and then nests get turned into... Oh God, 2 nests get turned into only 1 used comb? Wait a second. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, I don't like that. You don't get 2 used combs back, even though you throw in 2 arcad nests? That almost feels like a mistake. Maybe it's not. But that consumes a lot more combs then. Because 1 arcad nest requires 1 comb. So now we're just wasting a whole comb on every cycle. We know that we need to use that recipe though, because we save so much total resources, but like, that's really annoying. So that burns through a lot more combs. So then comb production... So basically most of those, or some decent percentage of those used combs are gonna go back. My brain's so close to understanding what we're doing. That's right. Okay, so this one can be a closed loop. Because the only place we consume the honeycombs is here. And we get 5 used combs back. And if those ones... The used combs melt down and produce back into honeycombs just fine. Got it. Okay, so that means... What does that mean? I mean, basically... I just need to only make so many combs. How did that get there? Oh, I know how that got there. Oh, that's so annoying. I hate that. And there's no way to block it. It just... I like a lot of buildings having the auto output thing. I don't know if I like casting units doing it. But maybe it's for the best. Because it does do stacking. You know, that's why they do... That's why they put the auto output on a bunch of buildings, is because then you can get belt stacking going. So, like, it's for a good reason. For a good cause. Anyway. So... So we're gonna be using combs pretty consistently, so I need to bring in fresh combs. But this one is a closed loop. If I want it to be, but basically I need the wax to be prioritized. Going into this one. Going into this. And we can just get a provider chest full of them. And then I'll need to request them. I need to request them to here. Request 10. We'll load that onto that belt. Okay, so now... Now I think we're good with that. And then I just need an overflow on the wax. So wax can only flow that way if we have enough. Okay. So that one loops. This one, we just need empty combs to make nests. And then this uses nests to make used combs. But I wasn't using this recipe before. That's right. So we could have made our initial used combs a different way. So basically, if we don't want to recycle used combs at all, that's fine. We could just keep sending empty combs to here. That makes arcad nests. Arcad nests makes arcads. Arcads make eggs. And then we end up getting free wax out of the process. Obviously, you want to recycle that so you don't need to spend as many empty combs. But yeah. Okay, so let's go grab another shipment of the empty combs for now. That should last a while. Oh my goodness. What a crazy heckin' setup. I am gonna figure out how to actually build it for real at some point with more nests and stuff. But I just wanted to get the queen loop going so that we can come back to like having thousands of eggs at some point. For now, I will just grab... This is stopped because it's out of coal dust. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Well, so much for that idea. Okay, so we need to put Tufra onto the list. Make Tufra. Because I do think long-term Tufra is how we want to make our extra wax. For now, I will keep doing this recipe. Goodness gracious. What a nutty episode. And we do need to be done soon, but I do just want to look at my bot auto mall just for another minute at least before we're done here. Okay. So throw those in there. Okay, that should give me a lot of combs. And we still have 870 ash, so we should be good on that for a while. Alright, so that'll get combs going. In fact, I could just sit here for a minute. This is gonna make combs pretty fast. Alright, we'll wait till there's like maybe 100 or something. Speed things up a little bit. There's 70. And that's all the dust we got for now. Alright. 89, good enough. We'll throw those into the arcade loop. And call it a day. Yeah, so the bot mall, we'll figure this out eventually. Because the problem that I'm also trying to figure out is we need to subtract the signal that we end up wanting to produce from the random signal list, which is going to be potentially a problem. Because I don't know exactly how we're going to do that. Oh, I forgot to add that Malaysia inserter back in. There we go. Okay. Hey, we've actually got some extra arcades now. Look at that. They're gonna start building up. Now, is that what I want? Do I want the arcades to build up, or do I want the... I want the nests to build up, actually. So, I only want to process the nests if... we don't have enough arcades. And then this loop, that way it'll be an egg positive instead of an arcade positive, which is what we want. Okay, well that's all working, I think. So, for a moment, we shall consider the bot mall, and then we shall be done. So with the bot mall, we're gonna need to subtract out the signal that we've picked. We're gonna need to lock in the signal that we've picked to a requester chest requesting the ingredients. We're going to need to set the assembler to create that item. And then when the assembler is finished, it's gonna need to send a signal that's the reset signal that then breaks the loop altogether, deletes everything that was in the loopy loop. So we are gonna need to connect. So we're gonna need to do and. We'll have the red signal. Oh, we'll do the deny signal. It's the loop breaking. The loop breaking needs to be 0. When loop breaking is 1, it should break everything. So then this will outputs a given signal for 1 tick. Okay, so break the loop when you're done. You're gonna need to set the recipe, and you're gonna need to read the ingredients for that recipe. And then this is picking a random one and sending it to you. And then this one seems to have figured out... Like, I don't know if I fully understand it, but it seems to be working to... Wait, no, I need a negate. No, but it's not gonna subtract until too late. So we need to delay the signal artificially. Is this more work than it's worth? Should I instead just have them set the recipe accordingly, and if I make too many, I make too many? No, I really want to do it this way. So because we're gonna end up making too many potentially. Because if we don't subtract, we need to subtract it before we send it on. So this green signal currently has the sum total. But then we need to pass that through an arithmetic. Oh, I know. We send the green into the arithmetic, and then we send the red in to that one. But the red is then delayed by 1, 2 ticks. See, that's the problem. So we've got 2 ticks that we need to just delay this green signal. What if I have a constant combinator? First of all, I just want to see what happens if I break the loop. What's the push button? There's a push button. I just want to see if this ever locks onto miners. It's always... Look, I should have a 50-50 shot of getting miners. Okay, there we go. We finally got miners. How many in a row am I Uh-oh. Is there something wrong here? I mean, I've gotten like 9 or 8 out of 9 have been 9 out of 10. Okay, something seems wrong here. When I turn this on, it resets. Why is it always the steam engines? Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong. What's the push button control? I forget. Oh, it's called like toggle entity. Shift mouse button 4. Yeah, I would have remembered that. That's what's happening. It switches it. Okay, that's a huge problem. I knew this wasn't quite good. I wondered if I thought it locked in, but it doesn't lock in. It switches to the one that comes first in the signal list. Like steam engines come first before miners. So that's all that's happening there. So we can't we need to only accept. So we need another. We need like an interpreter. And green is 0. No, then we're flipping back and forth. Well, let's see. I need to go, but what are we gonna do here? Can we do this with one? Can we do this with one? When anything's greater than 0. I guess we need anything on the red loop to be greater than 0. And green signal on the green loop to be 0. Then we have another one that's anything greater than 0. And the deny signal is 0. So then wait a second. What have I done? Is this gonna work? Nope, still switches it back. Okay, shoot. Oh wait, no. It might work. If that's only on green. I'm only accepting the green anything, which is its own output. Okay, we gotta get it locked into the miner for a second. No, it still switches. Come on, man. How did it switch? Because this is the only signal that was... This is the one that was true, not this one. Oh, output, input count, red or green. I get to pick. Oh no, that only matters on that. Shoot. So somehow the anything is for red and green. It's actually not caring. Even when only the red one, like this is not the one that's true. Once it started looping, it's seeing the anything on red and passing that anything through to be this signal, unfortunately. Because this one stops being true the moment we, you know, break the loop. But then it switches back. That's a bummer. I was hoping it would work that way. That would have been really clever. But apparently the anything signal is color agnostic, and it doesn't care what color it's receiving. It will pass anything through. Shoot. Well, we'll figure it out in the next episode. I think there are a lot of different solutions to this, and we will find one or more of them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't just come in telling me exactly what you would do, because that's not really... Like, you can. Feel free... Let me rephrase that. Feel free to talk for many paragraphs in the comments if you want, but I'm probably not going to, like, read it in a way that's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to try... Like, I might skim it or whatever, but, you know, if you want to chat in the comments with other people or just leave it for, like, future reference, that's totally fine. I'm just probably not going to be reading up on, like, other people's solutions to these types of bot malls, because I kind of want to make my own. So, in that sense, feel free to make comments, but just know that I might not be like, oh yeah, I read so-and-so's comment and this is now what I'm going to do. Like, I'm probably not going to be doing that for this system at least. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.